My name is Willie Lawson, and this is the Morning Report. Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com. Fightbackmedia.com. We are super happy that you are with us today. Today, I got to tell you, the YouTube video is not going to go along perfectly, word for word, with the audio podcast technical stuff. So we decided that we really like doing this on YouTube, and I trust that that you like it too. Share it with your friends. Share it wherever you want. There will be some material later in the broadcast that you may get a copyright hit on. We've not. We're going to end the program with. And I know the color is going in and out. It's weird because it's just weird, and nothing I can do about it. It's just sort of fluctuating, warm, cold. And I know that a lot of you YouTubers have already fixed this problem. We have not. But in any case, we'll be playing the Patriot, a little bit of the Patriot at the end of the program, like we've been doing all week, as part of our Black History salute, because a friend of mine, Christopher Townsend from Topher Town Music, wrote this, and it is zooming back up to the top of the chart. So we'll hear that. That may be a copyright thing for you. Hopefully not. But we've got some stories that you need to know about. Dr. Gloom is out again, telling us that things are really never going to be normal again, that we can't get back to normal. It's not possible. So we'll talk about that. Chuck Schumer is realizing that the chances of conviction of the president on his second impeachment are really low. Probably not going to happen. So they're considering something else. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And I want to talk to you about something else. I want to personally talk to you about something else. All right, and that's what we're doing. So we'll be back right after this. Thanks so much. All right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get with it. This article is from renewedright.com, and it says that Dr. Fauci has delivered some bad news to Americans about 2021. Now, you and I both remember, because although I'm a little gray, and I think when you see me on Monday, after the Bucs win the Super Bowl, I'll still have gray here, but I won't have any gray here because I'm going to get a haircut. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get a lot of them cut. I hope that my barber is having a sale. Yeah, so it's time for a haircut. Just going to have gray. Y'all like the gray, right? Y'all don't need me to get that comb and make it black, do you? Because that's really ugly. I'm not going to do it. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Doom, is out with an announcement that things are never going to be back to normal. And even if you go out and get the vaccine, because what he says about that in an interview with Don Lemon, I'm sorry, it's tough. Well, it's damn near impossible to think that anyone talking to Don Lemon, that anything that they're saying is going to be, I don't know, useful, important. Maybe Don Lemon should just be on. Maybe Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper should just do New Year's Eve. They can go somewhere and, I don't know, make out, and then wear the dope gas mask, get high and make out. And that would be Happy New Year's. And that'd be enough. And have them on television every day trying to talk about important things seems like a horrific, I mean, seriously, a horrific waste of time, energy, and effort. Don't you think? But anyway, so Dr. Doom is talking to Don Lemon, and here's what Dr. Doom says: you can't look at yourself like a vacuum. Okay, you can't say like I'm vaccinated, and when can we get back to normal? Now, even though that is what they've been telling you, and what's interesting about this, excuse me, is that he's still trying to tell you that at the same time, and at the same time telling you that that's not the truth. At the same time, it's just really bizarre that they think that you're stupid. Well, no, they're hoping. There you go, that's a little better. They're hoping that you're stupid. Here's what he says: if you want our society to get back to normal, and nobody's defining what normal is, you have to get about 70 to 85% of the population vaccinated. Well, y'all remember that the CDC's website changed the definition of herd immunity from an infection, a population getting infected and getting over it, to a vaccination model, right? Remember? Yeah, they act like we don't remember, and they act like we haven't captured that information. They act like put that down. They act like we don't know. They act like we're stupid. We're not. We're not. Now, when he says you need about 70 to 85%, this is Fauci's words, of the population vaccinated. Here's something he also knows. He also knows that that we can't even get 70 to 85% of healthcare workers in this country to be vaccinated, to take the shot. Saw an interview with a black nurse at a predominantly black medical facility who just said the same things that the rest of us saying. It came out too fast. We don't know enough. We don't know nearly enough about this. I'm just going to wait. About a little more than 50% of the of healthcare workers in America have said they will take the vaccination. About the same, a little bit more. I think 53% said they will. Only about 51% of the rest of us said they will. So the percentages are similar in the general population and in the healthcare worker population. Some people are, and it really doesn't carry right down party lines as much as people think it does. I've had people on my Facebook page who are Trump ride or die, who said you're stupid if you don't get the vaccination. I've had people who are Biden ride or die who said there's no way I'm putting that in my body. We don't know anything about that. It happened way too fast. And when you start talking about messing with your tRNA and RNA, I'm just not down with that. My own personal doctor, when I asked him, he said because of your underlying conditions. Basically, he said because you're a cardiac patient with high blood pressure and a fat tub of goo. He didn't say it like that, but he would have said it like that if we weren't trying to have a serious conversation. He would have said it exactly like that. He said that I probably should take the shot, and I told him I'm not going to, and he said, "Yeah, I figured." He said, "You don't have to." I said, "Oh, okay, good. I'm not going to," and because of this of the vaccination that messes with your RNA and tRNA, I'm like, yeah, I'm not cool with that. I'm just not cool with that. So in any case, so this 75 to 80% number that Fauci's talking about, what he knows is that that's not possible. It's just not possible. Even with variants coming along, apparently the South African variant is what they're saying. And I remember him mentioning there are 3 cases in America. 3 cases in America in a population of 330 million people. There's 3 cases in America, and we ought to be freaking out about it. When we've already been told these people act like we're goldfish, and that after 5 days we don't remember anything anymore. Yes, goldfish can remember up to 5 days. Write that down. They can memorize stuff for 5 days, and then it gets fuzzy. They think we're more like the fish in Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming. That we just forget what they've said, what the experts have said, that they can deal with variants, with changes to the vaccine, right? Okay, kind of like when, kind of like always. All right, here's more Fauci. Because if you do that, the level of infection is going to go very, very low down in the community and society. Maybe not 100%, but at least approaching normal. Hedging his bet on normal. If you're trying to get to normal, trying to make it harder and harder to reach up and grab normal. Well, I guess our definition of normal will be what were we doing February 2019? February 5th, 2019, what were we doing? We'll just call that normal. We were going to theme parks. We weren't wearing masks. We weren't really social distancing at all, really. We were all up on each other. We weren't avoiding the close talkers. Close talkers? You know what close talkers are. Hey, how you doing? And you're like, good, I'm good. I'm good. And they just keep coming. Just freaking keep coming. I'm not so concerned with the close talkers as opposed to the sprayers. I used to work at a place where there was a guy who was a sprayer. I will not mention his name, but he was a sprayer. And the kids used to talk about it. And of course, you always do the teacher thing. You go, you won't talk about other teachers in my classroom in such a disrespectful manner. I won't have it. So you do that, right? Hang on a second. There you go. But you found out that when you're dealing with them as an adult, that exactly what the kid said was was true. So you'd be talking to you, you'd be like, incoming. You'd be like the Matrix. On those hard T's and P's, you'd be like, whoa! Oh, gotcha, Jim. Jim's down, run. Oh, it's terrible. Those are the people that we should still keep avoiding, I think. But that's what normal is. So, Dr. Doom also drove home the point that declaring that unless Americans doubled down on things that don't work, like lockdowns, we know they don't work, right? We've seen their failure. And it's sort of a typical leftist sort of model that whenever they try something that fails, their first answer is, well, we didn't do it enough. That's not real socialism. That wasn't real communism. We didn't really lock it down enough. Well, no, you didn't. I guess you didn't weld the people into their homes. I guess you didn't gather people up off the street. I guess you didn't, sort of enforce some of the policies of communist China in Los Angeles and New York and in Tampa. I guess you didn't. Yeah, you can't. So not possible, right? But he doubled down on all the stuff that doesn't work, like lockdowns, masks, and that new variations of the coronavirus could become the dominant virus and push a return to normal life back to 2022 or even later. And it's like, well, so why is this dude doing this? Because that way he can stay relevant. He can stay important. Doctors never say this. Oh, you're fine. You don't need to come back to me anymore. And when you get to a certain age, you go to the doctor even when you're feeling good, right? Feeling good is not a reason not to go to the doctor. And that's the only thing we do that with, which is kind of funny. You don't drop by the car mechanic if your car is working great. It's getting great gas mileage. Got a little pickup on the interstate. The air's blowing. The air AC is blowing ice cold. You don't go, car's working really great. Think I'll move. I'll just go to Amco. MCO, right? You go, hey, this car's working great. Could you charge me $75 for a computer analysis? Of course not. Of course you don't do that. Medicine is the only thing we do that with. You're feeling great. You go to the doctor and he goes, oh, you're fat. Yeah, take these pills. You're probably pre-diabetic. You probably have high cholesterol. Take this statin. Yeah, it's got some side effects. Those of you who know, those that know. Yeah, how it is, right? So Fauci never wants to go away, and he's never going to give you news you like. He's not going to do it because it takes him out of the picture. And what he is not interested in is being outside, is not being in the picture. He is not interested in deleting himself from any of this. So he's not going to. So eventually we're just going to ignore the dude. He's going to be out there talking and we're going to be like, I don't know. We're going to have our mask on, have our mask off, and we're going to be playing golf, and we're going to be close talking with people. Hey, what's up, man? All good to see you, baby. The power of the we're going to be dodging the sprayers again. We will release ourselves back to whatever normal is going to be, probably sooner than later, with or without Dr. Fauci's or Dr. Biden. Sorry, Joe. Without their permission, we'll probably be releasing ourselves back to our lives. Chucky Schumer, Amy Schumer's uncle. I think is that true? Is Amy Schumer's uncle? Isn't that Chuck Schumer? What's sad is that he's funnier than she is. I'm sorry, she's just not funny to me. I think that she has the ability to be funny, probably, but she has to work on her craft, just like we all do. And I don't think that she's worked on her craft nearly enough to be funny. I'm not sure why she gets money for these specials. I'm not sure, but she does. But we're not talking about Amy right now. We're talking about Chucky. We're talking about the funny one in the family. They're about to hold the second impeachment trial on President Trump, who right now is not president. And I know a lot of you are saying, what? I thought impeachment was for sitting presidents and sitting officials. Well, I think that's been our understanding. There's one case that we know about that, and if you go to, and I'll put this down in the description box, if you go down to my friend chrisannhall.com's website, you can find the one case that we found of it was Ulysses S. Grant's Secretary of War. That's what we used to call it. We didn't now we call it Secretary of Defense. We used to call it Secretary of War because that's what it is, really. Ended up living an extravagant lifestyle on very little money. And we found out that he was getting a lot of money under the table. You know what I'm saying? And they decided to charge him after, when it was obvious that he was going to be charged. He resigned, but they went ahead with the proceedings. And so that I think that's the case that they're using to be able to try the president, and that's going to happen Monday. It is Thursday night, Friday now, on the 5th. So on Monday, they're going to try to crank up this trial. Uh, the egg and the steak is this. I don't know where I came up with that. The egg and the steak is this. There are already 45 Republican senators that didn't sign on to accepting the House's articles of impeachment against Donald Trump. It takes 67 people, 67 senators to, 67 senators to convict the president. The Democrats don't have 67 votes. Even if Susan Collins is running around trying to gin up those votes, not going to happen. They don't have the 67 it's going to take to convict the president of anything. So what they're trying to do now is maybe Susan Collins and who else? Tim Kaine. Remember Tim Kaine? No, you don't know who the hell Tim Kaine is. Oh, Tim Kaine was Hillary Clinton's running mate. Remember? No, because he's completely forgettable. Are running around trying to get a resolution, a motion to censure Donald Trump. And now what that is a big, we don't like you, we don't like what you said. Shame on you. Ooh. Ooh. That's what that's about. Yeah, no one cares. No one gives a rat's butt. But Schumer, knowing this, says he's going to discuss that later, afterwards, which he knows he's not going to get conviction, which is a funny thing, and they might consider that. Ooh, and I'm sure Trump's sitting home in Mar-a-Lago going, "They're going to censure me? Who gives a damn?" I love it. I love it. I love it. The more they try to get, Trump, the more they're getting themselves, the more they're exposing themselves. And that's what's really happening. And especially, here we go. And I wanted to talk about one more. Which one will I talk about? One more thing. If you heard about this representative from Georgia, her name is Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican. She has had this happened Thursday on the 5th, no, on the 6th rather. I'm sorry, on the 4th. She had her committee assignments stripped from her. She gets paid the same with less to do. Okay. Why? Because before she was elected to Congress, she decided that she didn't trust mainstream media. Shocker. And understandable, because most of you don't either. To be honest with you, you don't. A lot of you talked about how slandered some of you who are not my friends, who are not enjoying this video at all, talked about how slandered the media was when George W. Bush was in office, and then you didn't consider that the media was slandered the other way once Barack Obama got in office, and you just ignored the slant of how slanted it was after Donald Trump was in office. You just sort of, I don't know, I guess they were your champions then, and they were doing God's work, as some of you said. So she stopped trusting it, and she got on the internet and started reading some of the stuff from the folks from QAnon. Now, folks from QAnon, here's what: I don't need you commenting. I don't need you coming in here and trolling me. I don't. I'm not trying to get into a fight with y'all. I'm not trying to get into a back and forth with y'all. I'm not. That's not what we do here. So you just save it because we're just going to take it. You comment. I'm just going to delete them, so it doesn't matter. We're just going to delete it and block you, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, she got involved and she started reading some of these things and reposting some of these things because at the time they kind of made sense to her. She did some research and found out that some of the things were just wrong, incorrect. And it said so. But that wasn't enough. In a mostly party line vote, the freshman congresswoman from the House, she was thrown off her assignments from the House Budget Committee and the Committee on Education and Labor. They said that they took this unprecedented step because the Republicans didn't do anything to her. Well, how does this work? So, the 117th Congress meets. They get a prayer. A man, a woman, more dumbassery, and they go back to their separate corners. The speaker and leadership decides who wants to be on what committee, and they dole that out. The same thing happens with who are in the minority. On the other side, they dole out committee assignments depending on the number of chairs that are available, and then that's it. One side decides who they want on what committee, and the other side decides who they want on those committees. The horror of what we're seeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I don't care if you agree with her or not. I don't care if you hate QAnon. I don't care if you hate Trump. It doesn't make any difference. What you're seeing now is worse, and I'll tell you why it's worse. It's worse because one side is deciding who the other side can put on committees. This has never been done before. They are effectively vetoing the choice of the other side. These people behave sometimes like they're always going to be in charge. The very same horror may be used against them. It may be used against you or the party that you're cheering. So remember this. And if you don't think it's a good idea, if you think that there's something wrong with it, please say something to your representatives. Nobody wants, a lot of people who are watching who are hating me right now, who've been hating me for a long time because you don't like what I say and how I say it. You would never be happy with Republicans deciding that Maxine Waters or Tim Kaine or whomever shouldn't have committee assignments. Would you? Of course not. And you wouldn't. So it doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter why this happened today, but it did happen. And you're going to say, well, it was bipartisan. Yes, it was bipartisan dumbassery. 3 representatives from Florida who were Republican went along with this foolishness. I'm going to put their names and their email addresses down in the comments for you to talk to, because you need to. They need to hear from you. They need to know that they've participated in stuff that is wrong. All right. Now I want to talk to you guys for a little bit. I want to talk to my Republican conservative friends, which now I'm sure by this point in the video I've got like one. Thanks, Paul. I want you to do something for us. If you are involved in the internet, if you're involved in posting on the internet, if you're involved with blogging, if you're involved in posting memes, if you're involved at all, I want you to do something for me. I want you to start acting like a grown-up. I do. I want you to start acting like a grown-up. What's happened to us is horrific, frightening, angering. But we will never get back close to regaining the republic by acting like petulant children. We can't get back to making America great, or keeping America great, by acting like petulant children. We have to learn the lessons that we learned during the Donald Trump administration. We have to learn the lessons that we learned, for those of us who are old enough, in the years of Reagan. We have to learn the lessons of soothsayers and philosophers like Walter E. Williams. We have to learn the lessons and practice the lessons of philosophers and soothsayers and thought leaders like Thomas Sowell, Frederick Douglass, C.L. Bryant. Love you, C.L. We have to. Or we will continue to run around this rabbit hole that is descending deeper and deeper into the abyss. If indeed you are interested in maintaining, regaining, and saving the republic, we have to we have to start acting seriously about it. Well, what do I mean? Let's do us all a favor and stop posting about Michelle Obama. Who cares? It's not important. Let's stop posting negative comments about Jill Biden. Who cares? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Let's stay focused and on point about the things that really matter. Elections, policies. Not how fat Stacey Abrams is. Who cares? Who cares what she looks like? Stop being childish. Stop being sophomoric. The world is not TikTok nor Twitter. My name is Willie Lawson. This is the Morning Report. Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com. Till we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. See you when we see you.
Tens of thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is where we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd. Defend the Constitution, many warriors have vowed. Casting down any among us who have bucked and cowed. Enough with tyranny, we come to take our country back. For all citizens, white, red, brown, or black. Return her to a form of glory, fix the bloody crack on the crown. Fetch it down, it's going down.